Welcome to the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast.
Hello everyone, this is Jarvis Escott with What's Happening Birmingham, back again. Another segment talking about insurance with my good friend, loyal agent, also boss, Miss T. Nickname Holla at T. That's the nickname.
Holla at T. That is my new name. It has replaced my legal name. Like,
oh my goodness.
if I'm out and about, I'm no longer T or Tanisha, or it's just Holla at T.
Holla at
so, you know, it did what it was supposed to do.
Okay,
because I wanted people to know that, you know, when they say the word insurance, I wanted a catchy slogan so that people can know, oh, you need to holler at T about that.
Oh.
So it kind of stuck with me like a backpack. So.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about another topic today. I like to kind of like, like walk in the store. Let's just say you're driving, and this one scenario, while playing in the state hockey playoffs, your child was injured and taken to the ER by ambulance.
And you know that can cause arm and leg.
Yes, and his leg was broken and his surgery was performed. And with this particular insurance product, it possibly could pay you up to $5,500 in total benefits.
Yes.
And it's called accident insurance, I like to call it.
It's in case.
Just in case. So, T, I kind of started, you kind of talk from there about it.
Okay, so, yes, accidents do happen. They're not called on purposes. You can't predict them. You know, life can happen at any time. And as we talked about in our previous segment, we have to stop getting in the habit of getting something when life hits and knocks at the door.
Yeah.
We want to already have these types of things in place so that when life happens, you're just compensated. And that's what supplemental insurance does. When we talked previously, we talked about how and they can go back and watch that video as well, because I really had fun talking about that policy as well. Supplemental insurance is for you. It's for you. We have major medical and things that take care of the doctor and things of that such, but what do you have in place when life happens? So like in this particular scenario, this mother child was playing hockey. And, you know, how often, put yourself into this story. You have a child that's into sports and, you know, in the middle of the game, something happens and they're hurt and they're injured and they're taken off the field or the court or whatever. And in that moment, you're just worried about making sure your baby is okay. Not knowing that, oh, I may have to miss time off from work. Oh, it may be so severe that my child has to be life flight somewhere else, or I'm going to have to miss so many weeks off from work because they have to go through therapy or things of that nature. We don't think about that. But when we have policies as such, like accident policies, it's doing the thinking for us. It's already going ahead and it's calculating to compensate us, sometimes in as little as 48 hours, what we need. Because like I talked about last time, we don't want to take our savings and the things that we've been working so hard for and pay bills with it. That's not what it's for. So in this particular scenario, this child was playing hockey, broke his leg, had to be taken by ambulance to the ER. This family got paid out almost $6,000 for that because everything had a dollar amount attached to it. So that mother wasn't worried about, oh, I'm gonna have to complete my savings and pay for this, or, you know, make sure the doctor's taken care of and not me. You know, she's still having to be a mother, be a parent. So policies like this are gonna be your best friend and hold hands with you in the time of an accident. And we're talking about common carrier accidents, hazardous accidents, any kind of accidents that can happen in a day, in the blink of an eye, actually. So yes, it's that simple. It's not a gimmick. It's not, you know, it's real, and it gets real.
Yeah, and like this particular type of insurance, it'll pay for your fractures, dislocation, lacerations, concussions, burns, emergency dental work, your eye injuries, surgical procedures. It'll do the initial treatment, the x-ray, diagnostic exams, even pay for your physical, speech, and occupational therapy. And last but not least, daily hospitalization for hospital stays for this.
And one thing that it does cover too, Jarvis, it pays you to go to the doctor and get your physical every year. The policy pays you $90 just for you going to the doctor and being the adult that you already are.
Yeah, and let me tell you about with this particular policy, it would give you $1,000 if you're in the hospital 18 hours or less, or $2,000 if you're admitted directly to the intensive care unit.
Yes.
Per calendar year, per covered person.
Yes.
And even with the accident benefit, is $250 per day, up to 365 days per covered accident per cover. So you all do the math. How many times you start calculating $250 a day?
Yes. That's a lot. That equals a lot.
Equals a lot.
In my mind.
Pays $200 for an ambulance, $1,500 for air. You need to be airlifted. Even down here is just like back brace, $300. Wheelchair, $300. Anybody that's ever been in an accident know about this type of stuff. The walker, $100. And even the cane.
Yeah, and I'm going to stop you because a lot of people, they have a lot of rebuttals for these policies. Well, my insurance pays back. Well, you still have a copay. Yeah. You still have, a monetary obligation that you have to make to Blue Cross or whomever it is. So why not this could be your copay insurance. You got to pay it anyway. So this is something that you can, it's a benefit to you. So, even though your major medical may pay a portion of it, this can pay the remainder portion of it. And it's a very, very smart risk for you to take.
And one great thing about this policy, things you don't think about, is like wellness benefits, $60. Accidental dismemberment benefit for anywhere from $300 to $40,000 on this particular one. Pay for hotel, $125 per night. So if you're out of town and somebody's injured, gotta stay in the hotel, can't be in the hospital all night. Very few people. Then transportation, $600 per round trip, up to 3 trips per calendar year. With it.
Now, and it also pays for modifications of your home. If you're in an accident and you have to have your home modified, it does that.
That's $3,000.
Yes, and then what I particularly like about this as well is that it has a built-in accidental death and dismemberment. So if someone expires due to an accident, your beneficiary will get a payout for that accident. So that's more life insurance included in the policy, so that they can pay for any kind of arrangements or expenses related to a person's expiration. So you always want to have different things in place, because some people think just because I have one life insurance policy, I've done my part. Well, you don't just have one pair of shoes.
Yeah.
We have multiple pair of shoes. So, you want to get as much life insurance as you can. Some can pay for debt. Some can pay for funeral expenses. Some can pay for education. Some can just be for a rainy day for your children or your beneficiary or whatever. So it's never too much life insurance. So anytime you get an option to have something with a life insurance policy built in, it's a great thing to have, because you can designate with your living will, or your will, you can designate through your will how you want that money to be spent or put to use. So guys, I cannot tell you how important it is to go ahead and have some type of accidental policy in place, because that's the one thing we can't predict. We can't predict the accident.
Yeah, you can't predict the accident, but you know accident's going to come. In this particular policy, it's so much covering here, but I do want to cover these last two, because it's very important. Burns, anywhere from $125 to $12,500 that this particular policy would pay.
And I have a personal testimony on that one. My daughter was received a 3rd-degree burn when she was a child from boiling water, and I was a single parent. I didn't have the PTO, the money, but Aflac was there for me. I had already put that in place with my employer at that time, and I was like, Aflac came through for me. So I know companies like that will that offer these products will give you a payout, if you need it. So it's many companies out there that offer, but in the event that you have an accident, there's companies out there that will pay. I actually, through that company, received $12,000.
Oh, wow.
So, I don't know how this company works, but I know from a personal testimony when I did have that policy with that carrier that it did pay out. So it's many companies that have it, that you can, that offers this. And it works. It pays.
And one thing I will say, too, with this particular policy, if you go into a coma, I actually saw this on here, it pays $12,500. So if you're interested in purchasing this policy, please give us a call, contact. We work with a lot of insurance carriers, so we can give you some different options to choose from. So definitely give us a call on that one.
Thank you for watching the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast. Please check out our website, app, or subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest videos today.